Thank you for choosing our Patio Heat channel. I'm Steve. We provide tips and information to extend the enjoyment of your patio project. Our videos give you a knowledgeable overview prior to investing in your outdoor heating equipment. Whether you are a professional or owner-builder, we provide specific details for optimum heat coverage for your application. Post a comment or question, or for developed visual designs, send your request into designs@patioheat.com. We're here to work with you. For over 30 years, patio heating is the bedrock of our business, expressing what works best. Now let's get heating. All right, so here we have this application that is currently under construction, and or it might be just under design at this point. But let's go ahead and look at what I would recommend for this particular application. And what I have first of all is the dimensions that I want to share. So I have 19 feet 6 inches by 15 foot 6 inches. Now I have that at the very top edge here. You can see that there's some overlapping edges, but this is the dimension I received, and I try to copy the actual floor plan here, and I think it's pretty close to being accurate. So just to let you know about that. I'm not sure about the height of the application, but anywhere from 10 feet, which I have here, to 8 feet would be fine with this particular layout. And also I have a fan here in the center, and I have that at 4 foot 4 inches in diameter. And then as far as the lighting fixtures are concerned, I have these placed where I thought they might be close to, and what I want to do here is just kind of show you what, let's pull this in here, where I kind of have that at right now. So I have that at 7 feet center to center right now, and then from the center point here to the center point over here, and you can see that they don't match the heater's center point, but I have that at 9 feet center to center. And I'm going to go ahead and change this to a different spot here on my plan. There we go. All right, so I think that's pretty much about it. There's sliding doors over here. There's a door that does swing out into the open area, and you can see that I have 2 of the Infratech flush mount units centered within the patio. These are 6,000 watt dual element units, 240 volts at 25 amps a piece. And now the other thing that I don't know about as well is the seating arrangement. Is it going to be this type of seating arrangement, or is it going to be a table here in the center? In either case, we'll go ahead and check out how that footprint of heat will affect these types of seating areas. But I'm going to go ahead and put the casual seating here back on for right now and turn off those dimensions. And then also look at one other thing. You know, we don't know exactly which way the ceiling joists are. So if I took off the top here, and you can see that I have a minimum height here of, I have it at 10 inches, but minimum height should be 8 inches from the bottom edge here upwards. It could be 10, it could be 12, but the heater itself needs to have a minimum of 8 inches in height. You can also see based on the location that I've placed these heaters at. I'm going to go ahead and put these distances on now. I have it at 8 foot 6 center to center. So centered within this patio structure here, and also centered within the 15 foot 6 inches center from center here. So that would be their center point. In any case, I had to, I put one ceiling joist here, moved it 16 inches over, and put approximately 13, I think it was, and then this one here overlapped on top of this one, on top of the heater itself, so I had to move it to the left and then put another one here to the right. Now, I'm not a construction contractor, engineer, anything of that nature, so you have to have this in your design by your engineer. But in any case, the minimum clearance from this point here to this point here is 13 inches. So that's the distance that you need, minimum. And then this one here, I had to push over to the left because I didn't quite fit it, when it's that 16 inches from center point to this point. So I don't know if there's 2 that needs to be placed over here. or just the one, but again, from your contractor or designer, you'll have to talk to them about that. All right, so let's go ahead and take off that distance, and now let's go ahead and look at the footprint of heat. I'm going to leave the top off at this point here, and then kind of look at what that footprint of heat would look like in this application. You can see if it's a seating position like this, where you're not occupying the space where these doors are at as much, then this should be fairly decent. They did say this is in a very cold climate, snow in the winter, heat in the summer. So that's why I'm putting the 6,000 watt units here. This will increase the comfort level. Now, it does not increase the air temperature, just so you know that. I'm going to go ahead and put the top on here for just 1 second, just so you know that infrared is light waves, just like the sun. You can see the shadow here from the sunlight hitting the building. If you're standing here in the sunlight, you will feel the warmth of the sun. If you're standing here, you will not feel the warmth of the sun. However, the air temperature from here to here is exactly the same. And the same is true with regards to how an true infrared heater works. It heats mass. It does not heat air, because if it was heating air, the air would just rise. Hot air rises, and it just goes right into the climate. But in any case, Infratech or infrared light waves penetrate mass and keep you feeling warmer. Again, it's not heating the air, so you want to have the right temperature of a heater above you to expand those colder climates. Now, every individual is different when it comes to how you are with the climate. If it's a very cold day, let's say that you can handle days of 40 degrees with a t-shirt, something of that nature. I couldn't, but let's just say you can, because you're used to that type of temperature. Then this heater would work okay for you. However, people like me, it would not be the best or warmest application with a t-shirt on. So in any case, these are infrared light waves. They heat mass, and if you're in that light wave itself, you will feel the warmth. Let's go ahead and go back to that seating table area, and you can see I have crossover rays, about almost 2 feet of crossover rays, and that should be excellent for a position like this as well. The last thing I want to talk about on this application is the clearances, and then also I'm going to go with one more thing about the ceiling finish here. But the clearance below the heater itself is 18 inches, so we got to make sure that we are meeting the clearances for the doorway here, which appears like it's going to be fine with the location and size of the door here. And by the way, I have these, I believe, at 8 feet off the finished floor, or 7.5 feet off the finished floor. And yeah, that should be no issue, even if it was a little bit taller, and or even if the ceiling was down a little bit further from that 10-foot height that I have it at. So in any case, I think that's about it for the clearance. And then let's go into that last thing I wanted to talk about, which is the finish of the ceiling itself. So the flush mount kits are attached to the ceiling joists in this particular application, and you can see that there is no finished ceiling. Let's say that's a wood finish ceiling, or it could be a stucco finish ceiling. What I want to do is put that ceiling back on, and you can see that I have, if this was a stucco ceiling here, then I have that covering up portions of the flush mount kit itself. It has to be a minimum of 1/2 inch from the vent holes here to that ceiling structure, and same with on all 4 sides. And then if this is a combustible ceiling, let's say this is a wood ceiling, then the heater itself has to be dropped down so that it is at the same elevation as the ceiling itself. So I'm dropping this down just 1/4 inch of what I have that ceiling at right now. So whatever that true height or depth of the ceiling is, you need to drop the heater so it's at the same elevation if this is a combustible ceiling itself. So then lastly, where I have those lights, obviously, in the design, you could change that by just, moving it to the center point of where the heater is going to be, and that would look much better if we did something like that. So, all right, well, I hope this has helped. If you're looking for some assistance with your outdoor heating application and you would like us to review your plan, send your information into designs@patioheat.com. I'm Steve, and please tap that like button if you find this video useful. We don't advertise, not monetize. YouTube does not support our channel unless we receive a thumbs up from you, our viewers. We truly appreciate you doing that. Thank you very much, and if you have any questions or comments, feel free to ask. We're here to help. Have a great day.